All our stuff is available now on CD Baby, on Amazon, on iTunes. All my CDs, I think about 10, who's counting. And I'm going to start by talking about each one a little bit. So this is the album Asne Boer. Whoever knows Tzfar a little bit, so the album cover was made by my friend, mystical artist and Kabbalist Avram Lowenthal. And it represents the burning bush. The burning bush, of course, is a symbol for Am Yisrael, for us that we're never consumed, even though we're burning in fire. And I took it to a place of like, I once was in a, not exactly in it, but I was near a pigua, near a bomb that went off in Jerusalem, and the bus was number 18, which is Chai, and I saw like the smoke and everything, and it was terrible and devastating, of course. But suddenly I felt I was looking at the burning bush. That came to me like this kind of revelation, And I'm looking at something like that's what we are. We're going through stuff, the galut, but still Hashem promises us that we're never consumed. I was 22 years old, and I was in Tzfat, and I came to Tzfat just to, escape from Jerusalem and my childhood in Nachlaot, which is a happy childhood, but you have to get away sometimes to find yourself and to express yourself. And on the way to Tzfat, on the bus, my first song was born, which is Tzemin HaTeva, Tzemin HaTeva, Tzemin HaTeva.
So that was you leaving your Teva of Nachlaot.
Right, exactly. And it's like a little bit naive album, I think. It was only like 4 musicians. We record, like all these stories of nostalgic. We recorded it like in 2-3 days. Suddenly some kids came, so I said, "You want to sing with me?" So they came out on the track. It was very like spontaneous and fun. I have great memories of recording it. This is my Haredi guitar. One of the songs I like on the album is Moshe. It's a very mystical midrash about where Moshe was buried and how come we don't know where he was buried. So this is Mayim Rabbi, my second album. Came out 2 years later, 1997. And I was still living in Tzfat, learning in yeshiva, Shalom Rav, and most of the songs were like, kind of very Tzfati, very airy, very simple. And the chords are not simple. My chords are always pretty jazzy. But one of the songs I want to talk about in the album is the song Chagiga. Chagiga is based on a midrash, a very mystical, amazing midrash that I was heard by a Razel Chassid in Tzfat, and it blew my mind. Talking about a man who learned all his life Masechet Chagiga. That's from the Talmud. That's all he did. He was living in a little room. He was sitting and learning all his life. When he died, apparently to his funeral, amongst all the rabbis who came, was one young lady weeping, sobbing. So they didn't know how come she got here. How did she get here? What is she doing here? How did she know this guy? So they asked her, "What's your name?" And she said, "My name is Chagiga." And they turned around and she disappeared. And they knew that the Masechet came down to cry on him. That touched me so much that I made a kind of rap of the whole medrash, which was very weird in those days, I think.
A breakthrough kind of in the Jewish music.
Yeah, I didn't think, for me it was natural. That's what I just liked, weird texts and to make songs out of them.
Where's the text found?
It's from a Midrash Tanchuma, but apparently it disappeared, and that, like the woman in the Midrash, it also disappeared. It's not, because, there was a lot of different handwriting, but it was saved because Yitzchak Abuhav, which was also a mystical scholar in Tzfat, wrote a book called Menorat Hamaor, and he quotes that Midrash from Midrash Tanchuma. And it starts like this.
It's pretty obscure.
Yeah, amazing. מעשה נורא בחסיד אחד שהיה מתייחד במקום אחד והיה למד בו מסכת חגיגה והיה מהפך בה ומדע כמה פעמים עד שלמד אותה היטב כמה פעמים עד שלמד אותה היטב כמה פעמים עד שלמד אותה היטב ולא היה יודע לא היה יודע מסכת אחרת היה מהפך בה album.
Musical intelligence.
So we're talking about Zman HaGeula.
Woo!
So that was like probably my breakthrough. Because before that I was like just like this new weird artist who has songs like Tsemina Teva and Hagiga and weird texts, but like, so then one morning I woke up in my house in Tzfat, and you know Tzfat is a place where like hippies come and Balei Tshuva and young people. So I woke up in my house. I had and suddenly I saw like a lot of people in my room. I didn't know who they are. Like, but like it's fine. You don't say like, "What are you doing?" You just get up and make a coffee and sit next to them, as if it's natural that like 15, 20 people came to your house, visitors. I don't know. So then it came to me to write a song about the situation, and the melody came. I didn't have the words yet. I didn't know what the words, but wherever I played it, people were starting to sing with it. They felt it's like a very kind of catchy tune. Actually, I had different words at the beginning. The first words were, because there were so many people in that room, so I remember there's a phrase from Pirkei Avot, Lo amar adam lechavero, tsar li hamakom. One of the miracles of the Beis HaMikdash was that there were millions of people, nobody said, hey, nobody complained that like it's squashy. So they said, Lo amar adam lechavero, tsar li hamakom. That was a miracle. So it started like this. I'm just going to play it. It's a scoop. Nobody ever heard it. It's a real scoop. It goes like that. Lo amar adam lechavero, tsar li hamakom shaya libo, tsar li hamakom shaya libo. Luckily, I didn't stay with those words because I probably wouldn't get very far because nobody understands those words. And then one time I was in Rosh Hashanah in Meron, Rabbi Shimon. I came across a machzor of Sephardic of Temani, and inside there's a very famous piyut, a song called Yinon ve'Eliya Nisholeach Zman HaGeula Ba, something like that, and it fit me exactly to those words. That's how the song was born, and I'm thankful to Hashem that He gave me that song because it became a big hit, and you know I was playing it all over Israel. Higia Zman HaGeula, Geula is close, and every time I play this song, I really feel that it convinces me that it's true, that Zman HaGeula is karov. And Razel live in Jerusalem. A lot of times artists, you know, they hear their albums and they like it, but they feel like that they're better on shows, that the live show is very special. So I wanted to make just an album that kind of conveys the ruach, you know, the spirit of all the songs that people are dancing, and the energy and the simcha and the special thing that you could get from a live show. So I took my band, and with help of my good friends Ran Horvitz and Ariel Pelli, we organized a show on the Yellow Submarine, and recorded the song. Even there was a young artist that came just to Israel that time, Daniel Zamir, who today of course is one of the world leading jazz saxophone players. He plays here on this album too. And I'll just play the beginning of Shir Tzion. היגון את שיר ציון, שירו לנו שיר שעד עכשיו היה הדמיון, את שיר ציון. Shoshana album, I got a big thanks to the community of Eish Kodesh in Woodmere, New York, which I started to be connected to the rabbi there, Rav Moshe Weinberger, and I did a few concerts there. And then Chaim David, before me already, was performing there. And we decided to make an album, thanks to Shlomo Katz, the holy Rabbi Shlomo Katz, who collected so many of unrecorded Shlomo Nigunim. The songs there are really so beautiful. I remember sitting in the house of Shlomo Katz, and he's playing me some, unknown Shlomo Nigunim, and I was feeling like he's revealing me secrets of the Torah. Like I'm sitting there, he's like, hey, this is another Yari Bon, Kari Bon of Shlomo that nobody ever heard. It goes like this. Rav Revin, it starts from the third verse. Rav Revin Ovadech V'takifin, of course it's in Aramaic. Rav Revin Ovadech V'takifin Machi Chemaya Zakif Kefifin Lu Yichye Gevar Sheni Afin Lu Yichye Gevar Sheni Afin V'lo Yeyon Gevutech Bechush Benayim V'lo Yeyon Gevutech Bechush Benayim. Beautiful niggin. And a lot of beautiful niggins on the album, Keshoshana. So this is my Purim album. My Purim album, it just started as, everybody's connected to Purim. We get crazy on Purim. It's a time that we kind of know that everything we do is for the good. That's Purim is about, right? That there's no good and bad. All is one. Everything is one. So you get a little crazy. And I always write like a song around Purim time. So it started like one year. I decided to just to give make a Purim song on the radio, and the idea was like, how they say like there comes a time there will be a hunger not for bread or water but for spirituality. So to see this song as like a mishloach manot, like I'm sending a song to my friends, a Purim song. So that became a tradition. And every year, almost every year, I wrote a song for Purim and released it. And then I made an album. It has 10 songs. Even the last song is a really funny song. It's my brother Jonathan Razel is on it. And one of them I recorded in Rocky Studio. And basically it's like a really happy, crazy, it's good to put on in your Purim suit or something like that. It's a little bit serious album. We're talking about after Gush Katif. I changed a little bit in my writing. There's 2 songs here that I dedicated and I wrote about the Gush Katif. One of them it's called When They'll Come and to Evacuate My House. I wrote it on the day before the Gush Katif Churban. I was on the beach there, and I wrote it, and it's like how if things like this can happen, so it just gives me chizuk and emunah because I know that Enol Milvado, Hashem is one. And also funny songs like the Krembo song that became like a crazy song. It's actually, I have this kind of funny thing to write, the weirdest text I could find I make into a song. So this was a shaila that I actually saw in one of those Shabbos newspapers, which somebody asked the question. A krembo is a very Israeli thing that has like the cream on top and a biscuit on the bottom. So he said, what if you don't like the biscuit? Is it boirer? Is it usher to take it off on Shabbos? Actually, the whole song is a metaphor. It's a Kabbalistic metaphor for good and bad in life and emunah, but I don't want to get into here because, it's very deep Kabbalah and everybody sees these things on the internet. I don't want to get to the wrong places, So, there's only one-on-one I could talk about these stuff, but anyway. And there's also a song called Shabbat Kamat of Shabbat. There's a beautiful video with the Bort family on it. Like this. Shabbat, Shabbat, kama tov sheba. Shabbat, Shabbat, kama tov sheba. Shabbat, Shabbat, kama tov sheba. כל השבוע יש בי געגוע אליי שבת. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos.
Speaking about Shabbos.
Speaking about Shabbos, how can I not forget one of my great moments in life, making an album with Rocky Ziegler, Razel the Shabbos, which is gewaldig skits too. We talk on the album.
You know, if we would have done a free pie of pizza with the album, it would have been a bigger hit.
What do you mean pizza? Kishke.
We actually had that idea. I remember we had a Google.
Anyway, I'm going to play just the beginning of Azam and Mishvachim, which I think it's actually a melody that Rocky and me received from Rabbi Nachman in telepathy. Azam and Mishvachim. Kadishim Zeramim na 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 So last album I'm going to jump into is my latest album, Kavatit Moshavi. So that's representing my Litvish, dry, boring, serious, heavy side. Just joking. But you know, lately I started to learn more in the kollel. I started to buy my clothes in Bazaar Strauss instead of like going to all kind of hippie Indian clothing wearing. And you know, I started to dress like a kollel guy and get more serious. My kids go to cheder. I can't go in with all kind of.
For your next album, are you going to shave your beard and do...
I just say, what's on the windows? Cover the windows. Window...
Shades? Window shades?
Vilonot. I just say vilonot.
Window shades.
Yeah, so I used to buy my clothes like window shade stores and make like pants out of them and all kind of tunicas and add like tzitzis. But now, I'm more serious. So this is called Kavatit Moshavi Beit HaMidrash. I'm staying in Beit HaMidrash. And it's like a story about this guy who... It's actually me, you know, they tell him to do all kind of stuff. Kiru, play nigunim. But all I want to do is sit with my Gemara, with my Tosfos, with my Stender, my friends, with my Chavutas, and Steigen. So if I translate a part of it in English, it goes like this. They told me, go to Alaska, do some Kiru, spread out the light. Hashem gets so much nachatz when his lost sons return and do what's right. He said go dance in the streets, hand out stickers, books, and all kinds of spiritual stuff. When you light up a Jewish soul, you can't get enough. They told me, bring your guitar, we lit some candles, play some Hasidic nigunim. It's the call of our time, the need of our generation, spirituality and inspiration. I said to them, Ashreichem, Yivamish building Beit HaMikdash. Hashem has all kinds of shluchim. I'm sure you'll find the one. קבעתי את מושבי פה בבית המדרש אבל אני קבעתי את מושבי פה בבית המדרש. Gewaldig. It was really nice talking to you guys. I want to wish you a great day, great steiging, great learning, do some mitzvahs, learn some Torah, daven to Hashem, Yitboidedus, connect yourself to all the tzaddikim. I Rabbi Nachman, the Baal Shem Tov, Rav Shach, Rav Shlomo Kalibach, Gdolei Ador, Rav Kotler, and Hashem should bless you, mamish, with the sweetest connection to Hashem. The song is Zion, that's played in the album Live in Jerusalem.
Just don't do it with the coffee.